What will you do when you find out that your sister-in-law uses her menstrual blood to cook in her restaurant? Will you expose her or keep it a secret? Once upon a time, there lived a woman named Shalewa. She was a widow who owned a small restaurant known as Mama Put. But people did not patronize her because Shalewa did not know how to cook delicious meals. Those who tasted her meals found one complaint after another. It was either the food was too spicy or salty. Shalewa was a spoiled girl whilst growing up, and she was fortunate to marry a very wealthy man who was able to tolerate her shortcomings. However, her husband advised her to learn how to cook and take care of the home, but Shalewa refused because she wanted to live the lazy life. She had twin daughters, after which her husband passed away. Her in-laws took over all her husband's properties and sent her away because she did not have a son. Because of Shalewa's pride, no one was willing to help her. After exhausting all she had, she became stranded with her daughters. Shalewa became desperate for money, and so she decided to open a restaurant because her sister-in-law had one and she was doing well. Shalewa, with no knowledge of how to cook, started a restaurant business which did not see the light of day. Even her own children were unable to eat her food. Her sister-in-law mocked her every day because of how lazy and proud she was. Do you think you will ever succeed in this business of yours? You cannot even peel yam properly because of how lazy you are. Instead of you to swallow your pride and learn, you opened a restaurant opposite mine just to spite me. Let me see how people will patronize you. A full-grown woman, and yet there is nothing you can do. Tell the twins to come to my place whenever they are hungry before they die from that poison you call food, she said to Shalewa. Shalewa was angry. All through that day, she thought of what her sister-in-law said. No, I must make it in this business and prove to that woman that she's nothing. How dare she talk to me that way? I will do whatever it takes to disgrace her like she did to me today, Shalewa said to herself. She visited a voodoo house in desperation and she got a solution to her problem. The following week, she prepared the meal as instructed, but this time around, the aroma from the food occupied the air in the village and everyone wanted to know who made it. They followed the smell and arrived at Shalewa's restaurant. Everyone was surprised because she was known to make awful meals. They all looked at each other while their throats salivated for the food. Good day, my people. I know you all will be surprised that such aroma came from my restaurant because of your previous experiences. But trust me, I know how to make good food. I have decided to use my mother's recipe instead. Have a taste of it, and if you don't like the food, do not bother paying me any money, Shalewa said to them as she went into the kitchen to dish the food. The villagers stared at each other in surprise and they agreed to give it a try. Shalewa served everyone the food. As they took their first bite, there was great silence in the place. Everyone was shocked because they had never tasted food as sweet as that before. This is the best food I have ever tasted in my entire life, a villager exclaimed as the rest people responded in agreement. They all rushed their food and requested for another. In less than 30 minutes, Shalewa finished selling all the food she had made. All who tasted the food went into the village to announce it. Shalewa was happy because her plan had begun to work. Very early the next day, she woke up and made twice the amount she prepared the previous day. Before she could finish, a large crowd was already waiting for her outside with their individual plates. Shalewa served them, and in less than 30 minutes, she finished selling everything. This continued for a long time, but her children never tasted her food. Her sister-in-law lost all her customers to her. She started suspecting a foul play because Shalewa was known to be lazy and there was no way she could become the best cook overnight. Tope discussed it with some of her customers, but they all felt she was jealous of Shalewa's progress. Tope confronted Shalewa, but she gave her the biggest disgrace of her life. Everyone who saw them laughed because they all thought she was jealous. Tope sat in her restaurant crying when all of a sudden a hand touched her from behind. It was her twin nieces. They were looking sad and weak. Tope quickly wiped her face and asked them what the problem was. "We are very hungry, Auntie Tope. We have not eaten since yesterday," they said. Tope found this to be strange. "What do you mean you have not eaten? Go and meet your mother to give you some food," Tope said to them. "Our mother does not allow us to eat from the food she sells. She doesn't even eat from the food herself. She warned us never to taste the food or else something bad would happen to us. Please, Auntie Tope, give us some food. We are very hungry." Tope was shocked at the statement. She rushed into the kitchen and gave them food. They both ate like children that had been starved for days. Tope told them to come over whenever they were hungry, and they thanked her and left before their mother could see them. This went on for days, and Tope knew she had to do something about it. She woke up very early and secretly went to spy on Shalewa, but to her greatest shock, she saw some strange beings cooking, after which Shalewa poured her menstrual blood in the food. Immediately this happened, a very strong aroma evaporated and the strange beings disappeared. Tope was shocked. She knew she needed to act very fast. Not too long, the villagers began to gather in her restaurant. Shalewa served them with a smile on her face. Tope was scared because the villagers were in bondage, but she needed to help them. She told her husband everything. He was shocked at how far she went. "We need to act immediately before it becomes too late." They went to a powerful native doctor and told him all that had happened. The native doctor told them that the only way for her to confess was to give the food to her children. Tope refused. "They are my late brother's children. I cannot let them suffer for their mother's sins. Please, wise one, there has to be another way," Tope pleaded. The native doctor brought out a small medicine and gave it to her. "There is no other way. Give the food to the children or else everyone in the village will continue to be in bondage." However, once the effect of the food had taken place and Shalewa had confessed, "Give this medicine to them so they can wake up before they completely transit to the land of the dead. You have to be fast about it," he said to Tope. Tope and her husband were scared, but they had no choice. The next day, Tope sent someone to help her get food from Shalewa, after which she called the twins and asked them to come and eat. They ate the food, not knowing it was made by their mother. Moments later, they fell to the ground. Tokpe shouted and the villagers gathered. What have you done? They questioned Tokpe. Tokpe told them that she only gave them food that their mother cooked. Immediately Shalewa heard this. She screamed and began to confess. I am not the one who cooked the food. The food is made with my menstrual blood, by spirits. My children are not allowed to eat from it, else something bad will happen to them. Please help me, Shalewa pleaded. Immediately, a strange lightning appeared out of nowhere and struck her dead. Tokpe quickly gave them the medicine as instructed by the native doctor, and they woke up immediately. The villagers were shocked. Some tried vomiting what they had eaten, while others fell to the ground crying and laying curses on Shalewa's corpse. Tokpe took the children inside so they would not see their mother. The villagers, in anger, threw her body into the forest. They demanded for the children to be punished as well, but Tokpe told them that they were also victims of their mother's cruelty. The villagers thanked Tokpe for what she had done, and Shalewa's restaurant was set ablaze. Thank you for listening to this story. Please click on the like and subscribe button to support this channel for free. And also turn on the notification bell so you will be the first to see our new stories. We love and appreciate you. See you in our next story.